Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mead Hall. It is time for Season 10. Storm Division qualifiers are still going on in the main channel, so obviously, be here for this and then go back there for the finals. We will get into Season 10 qualifier or Season 10 regular NGS season kind of agenda. Lots of stuff to go over because it's the beginning of the season. And then obviously the reason you're all here is for placements. So we'll get to those. Don't worry. All right. So if we want to click through to the agenda page, and we'll kind of go over what the evening looks like. Usually we try to get done, with this within the hour. It could, be less or more depending on questions or things that come up during everything. But we'll start off with talking about the free agent combine, which we have before the start of every season. It's a great way to meet the community, stuff like that. So we'll thank everybody for that. Obviously, talk a little bit about Storm Division, the teams who've qualified so far. Tonight's qualifier is the last one, so the last two teams will be decided tonight. Welcoming all of the new staff that we've hired over the off season. We're always looking for new people. We try not to turn, anybody down as much as we can if there's spots open. So if you're interested, you'll get some more information about how to do that there. Caster resources, obviously going over making sure casters are invited. If you want to start casting, where you can get these resources and what they entail. Nexus Edge and analyst update. So obviously there have been some changes with Nexus Edge and the host. So we'll kind of go over what that's going to look like. There's a new show that's going to be starting up as well by our very own DB Smiley. So he'll talk about what he's doing there. Obviously, the very important rules update, and that will get updated on the website to reflect those changes and updates and general stuff. Patreon update. Most of the Patreon stuff should already be updated. So if you haven't checked it out, you can go check it out now. We'll also kind of go over it so you can take a look for yourself here. Important dates and reminders, obviously, usually, start dates, playoff dates. We're ending before the holidays in December. So kind of a good image to clip and keep for the season so you don't forget. Map pool and the final map vote. So obviously Sky Temple was removed. So this, in case you missed it in Discord, will show you what the final map pool looks like for the season 10. We'll go over placement information, so kind of how placements are decided, what that looks like, and then obviously the placements themselves with the season 10 divisions announced and all of the teams. Then we'll finally finish out with sort of Discord updates and reminders, so how to use commands in Discords, where to get your team name in the Discord, all that fun stuff that I help do, and then a quick Q&A. So, without further ado, I'll pass it over to Wedge, and he'll kind of go over free agent on Storm Division.
Thanks, Aura. So, big thanks to everyone that showed up for the free agent combine. It was, again, it continues to keep on getting bigger and bigger each season. This season we had pretty much 10 teams almost the entire night, and it was an amazing turnout that I was super happy to see. So thank you to everyone that helped with that. And also, really big shout outs to all the casters that helped to make sure all these matches got casted. Baja, Janksy Cat, Tetcher, Weenus, Arrow, Slexia, and Rackham did an amazing job of helping to cover all these matches for the evening. We're always looking for ways to help improve the free agent combine, especially with it starting to get bigger and bigger. So if anyone has any feedback from that, feel free to either shoot me or Stoic a DM, and we'd happily take that into consideration. Lastly, just a big thanks to Aura and Key for helping to keep the show on the road for the free agent combine. They were also big helps during the night. And now going to Storm Division. So, as most of you guys should already know, we're starting Storm Division this season for NGS's first ever prize pool division. We're wrapping up the last qualifier over on the main channel right now, and we want to congratulate all the teams that have already made it in, as well as all those that participated. It's been a great start so far, and we're really happy to see how it goes. For anyone that's interested in catching any of these matches, we're always going to make sure that they're casted on the main NGS Twitch, so that there's only one channel that you guys ever need to keep tabs on for where you can find Storm Division. If you want to check out any more information, you can find that all out on the NGS website, and it's going to run alongside the same dates as the rest of NGS Season 10. And if you feel like checking out the prize pool, We've managed to already have it climb to well over $1,000 with the helps of many people like you, as well as Smiley and Turd, who have also made some pretty big contributions, which we're really appreciative of. And also just want to say a big thanks to our casters for Storm Division as well. Since we're having it all on all in the NGS channel, they don't get as much promotion as they would on their own channel. So if you guys continue to show them the love on the NGS Twitch for subs and bits, we make sure to forward all that revenue over to the casters as well to compensate them for casting on our channel. Now, moving on to the big reveals. These are the teams that have already made it into Storm Division. In the first week, we had VGM Gaming with Tiger JK make it on in. Next week was Team Alexander with a whole bunch of Korean ex-HGC players that made it in. In week 3 was Chili Mountain, formerly known as We Take These, headed by Mason Blaze that made it in. CPOG X Fan Club, our heroic division champions from last season, made it in the 4th week. Earlier this week, Team Exodia, fronted by Cookie Man, made it in, and Region also was able to qualify that tournament via points. And right now, we're going to be crowning the qualifier 6 winner as well as the 2nd point total winner on NGS Twitch. And now I'm going to pass over to Jackster, for who's going to be talking about all the new hires for the season.
So much. Hello, everyone. We have a bunch of new people that are joining the staff this season. Born and I were really struck by just the sheer amount. So I won't read off everybody, but a couple, people to highlight. We have new Nexus Edge hosts, Jinxie Cat and Dax. Linehouse will cover that in the Nexus Edge segment. We have a new community network manager. We have Slexia. So everyone is familiar with her. Just amazing job that she's been doing so far, and we hope that she's able to take us to new and greater heights. Covey is going to be our new creative director, elevated from just a member of the team. So we're going to be looking to see if we can get some more shared assets between like the writing team and the volunteer team and the casting team. And Covey's good for that. New division mods getting promoted from community mods, a new community mods, writers obviously underneath me in the writing department for the blog, Shredded Wind, Bashing, analyst Kurama, and a bunch of new committee members as well. And just a reminder, if you have any inclination of volunteering or just want to see, what's available, feel free to DM me or Born, and we'll sit you down for an interview, see what you're good at and what you can help out. We do appreciate the help, because again, we are all community driven. We're doing this for the love of the league, so we really do appreciate it. And with that said, I'm going to pass it on to Smiley. He's going to talk a little bit more about casting.
All right, hello everyone. So first, last season we did really well getting good coverage for casting, so we definitely want to keep that going. To that end, we always need new casters. So if you're interested, check out the Discord caster signups channel. From there, if you sign up, we'll get you into the casters channel where you can see all the pins about setup. A huge shout out to Ace, who put together a new casting tool for this season. It's releasing soon, if not formally released yet, and we'll get that in the pins if you haven't seen it yet. As a reminder, generally it's considered poor form to DM or ping a caster to ask them to do your game. Some casters this season may use the community plugs channel to open themselves up to DMs, and if they do that, you're welcome to DM them, but generally assume that, we're going to do the best we can to cast all the games we can. And certainly we want to cast as many games as we can, and we want to get you a caster, but you're not always going to have a caster. And I do agree, by the way, Soothsayer I think is a fantastic tool as well. To that end, I'm returning again this season as head caster, joined by Weenus and Jason. And just as a general, hey, here's how to get your match casted. Biggest thing. The earlier you schedule your match, the more likely you are to get casted. Most casters schedule their matches a week out in advance. So if you want to get casted, put it on early. And with that, I am going to kick it over to, I believe, Linehouse to discuss the Nexus Edge update.
Hey everyone. We have Nexus Edge returning this season with me producing for a second time in a row. We have 2 new hosts, as Jackster mentioned earlier, with Jinxie Cat and Dax replacing our old hosts that decided that they have better things to do than Edge. Right, turd? All right. New Edge updates would be we're going to be doing the show every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern Time, what we tried to do consistently last season. We do have some new and old segments coming up this year with Stonks, Guess the Victor, Pick'em, Chat Q&A, Pointless Stat of the Week, of course, and we will have highlight reels and bronze or GM. So hopefully everyone's looking forward to this new edition of Edge. I think it's going to be a lot different than what we had beforehand, and I'm really excited to see what we can do with Jinxie and Dax at the helm. And I believe at this point, we toss it right back to Smiley, who's been bored for so long. I know I'm not saying anything.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Smiley, your microphone's not coming through.
That is, there we go. Hey, don't know why my mic was muted on OBS. Anyway, apologies there. Indeed, I deserve that ripping on. Anyway, so I'm bringing back 323 Weekly, which I used to do back with HGC before that died. The show and then HGC in that order. But you've seen me around doing simulations and power rankings the last few seasons. So I'm going to put all that in one place. It's going to be live casted Saturday evenings, 8 p.m. It's going to start next Saturday. It'll be on one of the NGS channels, so we'll let you know ahead of time where that is. And I'm going to do some player interviews, my simulations, playoff scenarios, etc. So tune in. And with that, I actually cannot remember who I'm throwing it to, but it's the rules update.
Hey everybody, Rio here for the rules update, of course. So this season we've got a couple big rules changes to go over that are a little bit drastic to go through, but hopefully should all be good. And we listened to a lot of your feedback last season in making these. So to start off, the first thing, of course, roster ads are probably the biggest change. There is now a maximum of 3 total ads that you're going to have over the course of the season. And in addition to that, not only, because this will preface a little bit for placements, but in addition to placements, also for roster ads, and this includes off-roster subbing, your rank for like the division caps and things will be taking into account your highest Storm League rank of the current season and the past 3 seasons. So requires a little bit more providing you information to us, but hopefully that should make some of the outlier issues a bit lesser this season, hopefully. That's our goal. And then we also have a new quick approval process, which is trademarked for roster ads and off-roster subs that will have more details once the full rules update comes out. But it's basically checking that you have a certain number of games played, that you've actually placed in Storm League, and things like that. So pretty much about what you would expect there. Also this season, we're having a hard lock 2 weeks before playoffs, which is October 25th, and there will be no roster ads after that date, and no use of off-roster subs. So if you want to get your 3 roster ads and you want to have subs, especially for playoffs, make sure they are on your roster before that date. That is going to be very important. I'm going to emphasize this even more. Make sure you roster people if you want to use them for subs, especially for playoffs. Do that. Rostering people is good. Okay. Team withdrawal changes. This is a slight adjustment. Previously, if you had played more than 50% of your matches in a season and then your team withdrew, you would keep the previous results but forfeit all the future matches. We're just changing that to match some of the other rules regarding forfeits, where it's a more than 3 remaining matches, so a little bit of an adjustment there. Of course, this is codifying a rule that we already kind of had in place but just hadn't put in the rules yet of heroes and hero reworks around playoffs will be banned. There's going to be new Discord channel, possibly multiple channels, not sure if that's been figured out yet, for roster ads. And stream sniping and third-party automation language was just added to the community guidelines just to kind of clear up and make sure that there was no misunderstandings there of what wasn't allowed or not. And of course, you can always keep up to dates on any talent bans and skins and things like that on the Discord by using those commands. So I will pass it over to Venus for the Patreon update.
Thank you very much, Rio, and hello, NGS. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. So we have some Patreon updates for y'all. So Patreon now offers merch again in a different format. Basically, we have added a t-shirt, a mug, and a hoodie that is linked to our new Patreon levels. And the exciting news is that it can be shipped globally. So that's kind of been a little bit of a limitation in the past, as we weren't able to do a whole lot of international stuff. But now we can. So this is going to be our first venture into the Patreon direct merch. It will be for the t-shirt, mug, and hoodie. It's triggered automatically through Patreon, so they'll do the shipping. It does require 3 months of consecutive Patreonage for it to ship on out. If you're looking for the NGS Patreon, it's patreon.com/heroes Nexus Gaming Series. But if you go to Patreon and you just start typing Nexus Gaming Series, it'll show up. So you can find it there. You should check out some of the exciting changes that we've made there. There's some fun stuff. As always, we appreciate everybody who donates and is a Patreon. We couldn't necessarily operate without you guys, so we really appreciate it. And it makes covering all the costs possible. So make sure that your shipping address in your Patreon profile is accurate also, so Mongoose can know where you live and he can come and say hi. No, I'm just kidding. He won't do that. So everything else besides the t-shirt, mug, and hoodie, all those are kind of handled by us internally. All of that, both physical and digital rewards, those will get sent after the regular season has completed. And but the one downside is those, since we are not global shippers, those are just limited to the United States and Canada. Big update, NGS Pets calendar has been added to the tiers, so check and find out where that is. It should be exciting. We're going to be taking pets from the NGS community, probably starting with people who are already patrons. If they want to submit images, we would love to create a calendar of all the fun pets that everybody has at home. Very exciting. All right, one more update. Going to the next slide. We have a special Season 10 wallpaper that was commissioned by Alarak of the Storm at Hots High Lord. Here's a little bit of a preview of the image. Just a little bit of a spoiler. It is fantastic. Yeah, it's really great. It is exciting and will be available to the patrons of NGS for Season 10. Really excited about this. Okay, so that's all I got. Next, on to the one, the only, Slexia, for some important dates and reminders.
Thank you, Venus. Hi, everyone. This is the most important slide. So we'll be done after this. What I'm going to go over are the important dates and reminders. So the first bullet point here is that the schedules will be revealed Wednesday, September 2nd. Get out your pen and paper, your calendars. Let's mark these things down as I go through the list, please. The regular season here starts September 7th and goes through November 8th. That is 9 weeks total. The playoffs will be November 9th through December 13th. That's 5 weeks total. And there will be a week off between round 2 and 3 for U.S. Thanksgiving. The grand finals will be December 7th through December 13th. That's pretty much it as far as dates are concerned. One of the most important notes here on this slide, though, in all caps, is to schedule your flex matches ASAP. Do not leave them all until the end of the regular season, or Born to Shine will find you. And that's it for me. Off to who's after me? Oh, it's yo Jackster.
Oh, I'm back. Here to talk about the most uncontroversial thing in the whole placements. So the map pool, you might have heard of it. So we have yeeted Sky Temple. We have removed it from the pool at the request of the majority of you all. And in its place, Hanamura has risen amongst the rest to take its place for one season until inevitably Sky Temple returns next season. Everything else is the same. No surprise there. We'll see. We'll see if you guys like it, and see if this experiment works. So you have no one to blame but yourself. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about it, feel free to leave them in the suggestion discussion channel. It will no doubt be filled with positivity and yes. So with that, let's go on to the placement information from Key.
Key, are you there?
All right, yeah, I just unmuted myself. So, all right, on to the most exciting part of the meet hall and why most of you are here tonight. Mongoose, the lead of placement committee, is not available to speak tonight, so I'm going to speak on behalf of the placement committee. We have a lot of new and returning team this season. What we did for this season is no difference than the last few seasons. We did ask for extra in-game Storm League rank screen caps. So instead of just having the current season, we asked you to provide screen caps for the 2 previous seasons as well. This is to account for potential rank decay or any trends or consistency purposes. So for returning teams, with mostly intact roster, we lean quite heavily on the past NGS performance or comparative competition like Heroes Lounge or any other off-season tournament like CCS or like Surgeon Distillery Invitational. For new teams, they're usually like teams that make up of past NGS players, just grouping with a new set of players. We will usually take into account their past performance together with their ranks. And for new teams that with less information, we usually use their in-game ranks. And compared to some of the baseline teams that we are quite certain for various division to put them in their appropriate division that we feel is good for them. So for the ones that want to know a little bit more about the process, there is a placement committee guidelines under the blog pages of the website, I believe. You can always ask us directly as well. And anyone that has issue or concerns with their placement that we announce later, you can always reach out to us and we'll answer those questions in more details. So without any delay, for season 10, the structure of NGS, regular NGS, we have a total of 120 teams for season 10. 8 from the Storm division and 120 for the regular NGS. And you can see the structure as shown on the slide at the moment. A total of 11 divisions, and for the first time, we will have 2 coastal divisions for Division B East. And B East 1 and B East 2 is kind of just a placeholder. So if you have any suggestion to name them instead of just the boring East 1 and East 2, just suggest them and we can put them on before the schedule is released. And what we are going to do with B East or like the B division in general is we will have B East 1 versus B East 2 grand finals, and B East and B West winners can arrange a grand final of Division B, which they can opt out due to how close the end of the season is close to the Christmas holidays. So I'm sure that that game will play out just to have a grand Division B champion. And lastly, division assignment and schedule will be released around Wednesday, as Lexia mentioned earlier, from the important dates. So, all right, let's get into the placement, and I'll first pass it on to Sheech to announce the heroic division teams.
All right, so for heroic division this season, we have Archon, Brawl is Life, Seros Crypto Crew, Double Paradox, New Game Plus, Phoenix Rising Ruby, Phoenix Rising Topaz, Richard and Ree, Sky 5, Team Reapers, Wildheart Gaming, and Yamate Kudasai. And moving on to A West, we have, which will be a double round robin bracket. We will have Baby Makers, Fancy Flightless Fowl, Forge the Winning Condition, Fox and His Carries, Minion Miners, Regen Retro, and Runnin' Wild. And in Division A East, we have Beef Boys, Caffeinated Knights, Gilly Shark, Party Time, Regen Phoenix, Roomba Rotations, Team Happy Cloud, The Careless Badgers, Tiny Dancers, Tricky Gooses, and Wholesome Halfwits. And with that, I will pass it over to Pina Colada for Division B.
Well, for Division B West, the moderator is DeWitt. He is currently not here, but I will be taking over this slide for him. As for the teams for B West are Arrogant Nephilim, Better Than Bots, Bronze 6, Cosmos, Fighting Mongooses, Lurk Patrol, Phoenix Rising Emerald, Roll 1 Esports, Soak Every Lane, Spooky Ghosts, The Wind Train, and Ew. Now, moving down to the two Division B East, we have Division B East 1, who is going to be moderated by Boggs, who is also not here right now, so I'll take over for that. And the teams for that division are Animatics, Boojin Squad, Death and Delay, Deckard's Erudition, Die Gaming, Legal, Lubu, Regen Ghost, Scalding Sweat Cult, and Strange Team Comp. Moving over to Division B East 2, which will be moderated by Dallying Pig, who is temporarily not here. The teams for that division are Two Calculator to Throw, Amateur Opponents, Ban Cho, Beyond Gaming, Deathweb, Holo Wife Gaming Cat Girls, Phoenix Rising Diamond, Pro Be Us, Regen Anomaly, and ZZZ. Now I'm going to pass it over to Ektar, who is in charge of C West.
Thank you very much. For C West, we're going to be having Annie Oak League, Artemis, Bloodbath, and Beyond. Can't Counterpick Stupid, Can't Create Acronyms, Essence Gaming, Garrulous Gaberlunzies, Randy Newman, Respect the Goose, Resurgence of the Storm, Team Maroon, and Team Rainbow Strike Go. And joining me on the East Coast will be Aura.
It's me. I'm back again. So for Division C East, the Division C Best Division, is going to be Bunker Fun Time, Duratan's Couch, Heavy Slaps, House of Shay, Limit Break, Maple Syrup Bandits, Nexus Cats, Phoenix Rising Citrine, Protectors of Ire, Witch Rhythm, Zul'jin Distillery, and Your Math Teachers. And we will move on to Division D West with Dershane Train.
Hey everyone, really excited for this season here in D West, and joining us this season we have Can't Connect Stuns, Clouded Minds, Cool Cats and Kittens, Knights That Stay Bronze, Lightly Salted, Nerf the Smurfs, Puns Upon a Time, Regen Divine, TRSG Knights, We're Scaling, and Yavapai A New Pool. And throwing it over to D East, we have Pina Colada.
$10 says he's muted.
I'm muted. Wow, I'm a goofball. I just did a whole thing. I'll be moderating for D East. As for the teams, they are Bad Matchmaker, Council of Mages, Frank's Furters, Hot Potato, I Must Feed, One More Fight, Phoenix Rising Onyx, Storm Gaming Purifiers, Rise and Grind, Team Banshee, the 9 Avataria, and the Probius Strikes Back. Now passing it over to Gokwe in Div.
Hi. So for Divi, we have Bull Moose Party, FC Hong Kong, FF and the Pancakes, Fredonia, Ice Crown Citadel Knights, Illa Dancing Queens, Post Poseidon, Phoenix Rising Amethyst, the Baddest Dudes, the Core Bouncers, and the Devil's Rejects. Tossing it over to Aura.
All right, so we are just closing out here with some of the Discord updates. Obviously, running through all the divisions, just as a reminder, they're just in alphabetical order, not like who's top seated and who's bottom seated for anybody who's new here. We just alphabetize them. That's all that means. It doesn't mean anything else. And then also, just because I saw some people talking about it, that with Storm Division, do keep in mind that a lot of people were just transitioned upwards. It's not necessarily like, you might notice a lot of the same team names in the same division, even though it might be a division up. It's because that the whole everybody just kind of got bumped a little bit just because of with Storm Division taking out heroic teams basically, so everything kind of gets moved up a little bit. But in general, Discord updates. Obviously, now with divisions announced, we will start getting in the coveted Discord chat channel tags. So if you haven't gone to the team self assignment channel in Discord to get your team, do that, because without that, I can't give you your chat channel permissions. Those will probably be tomorrow evening. We're going to try to see if we can get them done tonight, but if not, tomorrow evening at the latest. Also, I'll be updating the captains list channel in Discord. That'll be your best friend for captains and assistants who are scheduling your matches and stuff. It's going to be a really quick list of who you can see, click on their name and message them. It'll also have all the div mods in there too, so you know who to refer to or if you need to contact somebody. And then obviously the send help category, which has like the help me channel and feedback and questions and all of that fun, cool stuff. If you need anything and nobody's able to answer DMs for some reason. And then just in general, the general command channels in chat, if you do !commands in the Discord, it will give you the list of all of these commands. So if you can't remember them all, if you remember that one, it'll tell you all of the other ones and what they do. So dates will obviously hold the season dates. So you can always use that to refer to what the dates are if you need a quick glance. The bans, which are updated, as things get banned or unbanned, whether it's heroes or talents or whatever. Same with skins, but that's pertaining to like skin and mount bans that might, get updated or changed. And then obviously the maps, which we will get updated. I might still say season 9 because the qualifiers for Storm are still going on, but that will get updated. So obviously removing Sky Temple, adding Hanamura. There's also some fun secret Discord chat commands that aren't listed here. So if you know them or you want to have fun with those, those are there. Maybe I'll make a list of those for your guys' enjoyment at another date. But yeah, so lots of fun Discord stuff. If anything's not working or whatever, just ping me or DM me and we can get it fixed too. Finally, I will pass it off to Weenus to close us out here.
Welcome back, my loves. Just remember, you can keep up with the NGS on Twitter at Nexus_series. Also, check the announcement channel in Discord. That's where the latest updates will be. Also, Hype. If you're just looking to see what's happening in in the near future, maybe the day of. So you can find a lot of that information in the Discord. Make sure and check out our multiple shows of varying content and other generic things. But more specifically, we have some down below. We have the Nexus Edge League coverage. Season 6, do I hear? Season 7, do I hear? 7, do I hear? 8, do I hear? 8, give me 9, give me 9, sold, 10. You can check out all the seasons of the casted games as long as it's 6 through 10 on our YouTube. Check it out there. And you can also find, who's streaming matches on the NGS website on the front page. Make sure to check out the Twitches, whether it's some of our casters or here on NGS2 or NGS1, and also on YouTube for all of our VOD directories. Unfortunately, the board decided that they were going to deny the application of Weenus After Dark, so that will not be a show for Season 10. However, we do have much better and exciting content. We have Ladies of the Nexus, Late Night Face Check, 323 Weekly coming out, Nexus Edge, and who knows? There might be a couple more exciting things in the future. We will have to see. If you're interested in putting together some kind of media content for NGS, please let I guess it would be hiring know or any of the mods or the admins. So make sure to check out all this great stuff that people are putting out. All right, so now we are going to questions and answers. Remember, season 10 of NGS starts Monday, September 7th. Here is the 10th season anniversary logo that we'll be giving to casters and basically anybody who wants it. If you have questions, please post them in the Discord now, and we will get to you in the order received.
So there's a lot of questions coming out right now for you, Weenus. Where can people find Weenus After Dark?
In their nightmares.
Well, if you're on the West Coast, it's usually after 8 p.m. Right now, as that's when the sun goes down. That's where you could find Weenus After Dark.
I know there was a question earlier from Taco regarding the stream sniping rules. To clarify, because I think I've seen a couple other people confused by this. Like, watching caster streams is totally fine. Those are on a delay already, and like you can sit in their Twitch chat just to chat in between games or for the post-game interview or whatever. Like, that's totally fine. That's the rule is it's to cover what you expect, which is basically like unsportsmanlike behavior where people are trying to basically cheat in the games and get a competitive advantage that they shouldn't have and things like that. So it is going to be hard to enforce, but it's more so, I think, important that we just had it very clear in the rules there that that's like not allowed, just so that people don't think that it's maybe something they could get away with or something. Like, that's pretty much the reason for the rule there. So, and it's mostly just clarifying wording and stance that we already probably had in the past.
If I could bring up a question for Key, because Key is heading our placements. Because this is something that's probably going to be brought up a lot, either in chat or elsewhere. Walk us through the thought process behind why we needed two B East divisions, and how is that really going to work in terms of playoffs?
So the reason why there are two B East divisions are just because there are a lot of new teams this season, and the traditional like one coastal division for East and West doesn't quite fit all the teams for this season's placement. So we end up deciding that we will have to do two B East divisions because there are, if you are here earlier, there are a total of 20 B East teams this season. So they are split into 10 each, and they will do a single round robin. In terms of the playoff, I guess, structure for Division B, B East 1 and B East 2 will have a grand final among themselves, and B West will have their own champion. And if they want to collaborate and arrange like a grand division champion, they are more willing or more welcome to do so. So just because the season end is really close to the holiday, we don't really want to like prolong the season, but I'm sure that match can be arranged among themselves. So hopefully that answers your question, but feel free to ask more if you have any.
Okay. No. I mean, again, I was just asking on behalf of the
right
the people. So essentially, just there's too many teams, and if we wanted to do what we've traditionally done and move people to the other coast, or move people up or down, it just wasn't quite right. It wouldn't fit. We wouldn't feel comfortable taking teams that otherwise would be in a B division and put them in C to ruin games there, or to put them in A and have their games ruined by other teams. So, yep.
Yeah, that is correct.
This was a good Delta Sniper asked, does the mod team have the authority to approve someone who is higher than the div rank requirements? Yes, with a big asterisk. We very rarely add someone that is higher than the div rank requirements, and the fact that people have been added who currently fit the requirements but previously were above the requirements is why we're looking at multiple seasons of historic data when doing roster additions for this season, which is what we're trying out for the first season. But a situation like that would only happen, for example, and this is not guaranteed, if a team early on in the season lost a player for some reason that was above and they wanted to replace them with a player who was at or below the rank of the missing player, we may approve that, but that is not guaranteed and not something we do very often.
Basically,
with a follow-on question of if someone does get added who is above the rank requirements, do teams of that division get notified? Coincidentally, we're actually working on a system where divisions will be notified of every roster addition. It's going to be happening through a Discord channel where captains in a division should be getting a notification every time a roster addition happens within their division, which the captains may mute if they don't want the pings or keep unmuted if they do want the notification of roster adds in their division.
I just want to quickly jump in. I saw one question asked about how did we kind of separate the B East 1 and B East 2. Mongoose already answered in chat, but essentially we tried to make them as equally competitive as possible. So like both B East are equally competitive. There's no like one above the other or vice versa.
One thing I saw from our cloth was where can we see the vision assignments post this? Post this Twitch. Obviously, there will be a VOD. We usually like to snippet just the placement section. So, like from the placement start to the end of Division E, we like to get that usually onto YouTube. So it's just that portion of the stream. We'll still have the full stream available. That you can look at, but usually we'll have a YouTube video uploaded afterwards that you can always refer to, or this VOD directly, of course. So
Velvet Thunder. So B East doesn't play B West for finals. That is correct. If you win the B West finals, you are the B West Grand Champion, and the two B East teams will have a Grand Finals, intra Grand Finals, and if the two Grand Champions wanted to do kind of an unofficial after the end of the season Grand Finals, I'm sure you could find some casters for it. But as it is, there's just not enough time in the season to have that many Grand Finals matches without affecting like 7 other divisions.
Yeah. I'll jump in real quick as the head caster. We will get a caster for it. We will put on a good show for it if it happens. But it's just, given that it's getting close to the winter holidays, it's a bit rough to try to force it to happen.
And I just want to reiterate in regards to like roster additions, it is a lot more strict this season compared to last season, i.e. with only 3 roster approvals, and also requiring with a back data of like Storm League rank and stuff like that. So there is always the possibility that exceptions do happen because that's just inevitable, but it's very much less likely. So just to clarify.
Well, and I was going to add to that's a lot of listening to the community like feedback and kind of like sense of the water, I guess, on that, where it felt like the community wanted us to be a bit more strict this season. So we tried to accommodate that and come up with some guidelines that would hopefully still be reasonable for most people in most situations, but would maybe eliminate some of the outlier like pain points that have come up in past seasons, basically. So.
And I saw Velvet just made a comment. So the grand final for B West would follow the same format as a grand final between East and West would normally. I mean, yes and no. So it's going to be more similar to like Heroic and E. It's kind of like its own standing division. So if you pretend B West isn't a coast, it's just its own division. That's why the topic of renaming B East 1 and 2 to have different names, because that's essentially what it is. The two B Easts are kind of like B East, B West, how they would work out finals, except they're both East. And then B West is kind of like Heroic and E, where it's kind of standalone thing.
And thanks to Winus, the exclamation mark roster cap command in the NGS Discord has already been updated. So if you need to know what the ad limits are for off-roster subs or for rostered players, it's already active on the website. And for any of the captains that submitted a roster ad after placement committee had already started, the mods will get looking at those. And so we'll be asking for all of the requisite information that Ryokai put out earlier, and it will count against your 3 roster ads for the season.
I see someone asking for a link to the Discord. Give me one
Yeah,
moment.
Wedge
I will
got it.
get that. Okay.
Wedge has got it.
So I asked a question, and we don't have Mongoose here, so I don't know if we'll have anyone to specifically answer this question. But for our Patreon rewards, they said that we only ship to the U.S. and Canada. Do we ship to U.S. territories?
Mina said globally, I believe.
I was gonna say Patreon changed some things. So I
Yes.
believe Patreon ships globally, but that's like you have to be a Patreon for like 3 months or something like that consecutively. Obviously, we'll be getting those sent out after a season, but it was some weird Patreon changes that they did. So
There's global shipping for the new Patreon fulfilled items, which is the T-shirt, the sweatshirt or slash hoodie, and the mug. All the other items, as long as you're in the United States, including the territories, those are handled by NGS, and we will ship those to you.
The answer in chat from Mongoose is, "That's a good question. DM me" is the answer.
So DM him
I'm
in
saying yes.
Discord, yeah. Mongoose is definitely here. He just wasn't able to attend Mead Hall, so you can definitely DM him in the Discord, and he should be able to get back to you.
May I have the Venus calendar? Oh my goodness, that's not on the
I
Patreon
think
yet.
that's the 18 plus.
asking.
And if we've missed anybody's questions, feel free to repost, or definitely just throw them in the Discord too, and we can answer them there. I know sometimes things get missed, but not on purpose. So
Colonel Pants, I believe Born to Shine's favorite Little Debbie snack is a Chardonnay.
And Born's she's not here, so I can make up any of them. It's the ones that are shaped like a Christmas tree, because Christmas tree. I mean, we got to be honest. Like Christmas tree shaped anything is basically the best version. Like that's just how it goes.
something about when will all this information be updated on the website? I'm not sure if this has been answered yet. Essentially, like the volunteer page is updated, the fact page is updated. Turd Herder or Rio, I'm not sure when the rules page is going to be updated, but I know that will be updated before the season starts. I just am not sure what date you guys had.
Well, I'm not sure how quickly we would be able to do that because it is kind of a lot of changes, but I think we're pretty much ready to go for it. So soon.
It's a
TM
lot easier
is
than
my
you think,
answer.
Rio, if you haven't done it before. So most of it's copy paste, but and then I think stuff like the division placements, those will be by Wednesday. Division placements will be updated on the website by Wednesday, and the schedules will be created on Wednesday. So by Wednesday, you'll know you'll be able to see your division on the website, and you'll know your round 1 through 9 and stuff, teams. It'll all be updated on there. So.
Any other questions? I feel like last time we got a lot more.
Everyone quit the league after Hanamura was selected.
Oh yeah, they all left. Well, if you don't like it, you can form your own Warhead Junction only league, or
It
better
was
yet,
posted in
Haunted
chat
Mines.
by 7th Ace, but Hanamura won by 5 votes. So if you voted for Warhead Junction, you really are the independent party in this situation.
Next April Fools, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a 1-day tournament where it's just all of the bad maps that we never let in. So it's like Haunted Mines, Blackheart's Bay, and Warhead Junction. And we're gonna force people to play on it just so they can remember how bad of maps they are. So it'll be like a public service.
I just saw Silvara ask, is there a specific Discord channel to ask follow-up questions? Turd said general. General is always good. That's totally fine. Help me. It's #help me. In the bottom section is also another good place. That channel we usually keep a pretty close eye on to try to answer questions as quickly as possible. If you post it in general, it just might get, depending on how crazy things are, it might get lost. So help me is a great place for sure. General obviously is still fine. So Basically anywhere, somebody will see it. I read everything in Discord, so if you think I don't see you, I do. So.
And if you're trying to find the NGS Discord in your Discord list, the logo may have changed.
Oh yes, the logo did change. So that's our season 10 logo. Some people might see another one on the question and answers thing. That'll obviously be given to casters. We're not changing the logo. It's just a special season 10 one. So we'll make sure that casters have availability to that if they want to use it. And obviously the logo on Discord changed for the specialty of it. So. Well, I don't know if there's anything else or if anybody else wants to say anything.
Can casters get the Discord logo too? I don't see why not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it will be in the caster resource that everyone gets. Which that post will be updated and repinned. No worries. Everything's fine. We're fine. How are you guys?
Is that a Star Wars reference? We're fine. We're fine. Everything's
Yes.
fine here.
Yes.
How are you?
TTK422, why are you not at your post?
All right. Well, if that is all that we are finishing up on, like last call sort of thing. Otherwise, we will go over to Tetcher and watch the game 2 of the final Storm qualifiers. So now's your last chance before that happens.
Before we become a dictatorship.
Watch the grand finals. This is your conscience. Watch them.
Congratulations to all the teams participating in season 10 of NGS. Thanks for watching, everybody. I think we are out of here. Have a great evening.